The man you used to be is still inside you. He's just waiting for you to wake him up. After 50, most men silently feel the shift. Less energy, fading drive, and a quiet fear that their best days are behind them. But here's the truth. Declining testosterone doesn't mean declining purpose. In this video, you'll discover 3 natural science-backed ways to revive your vitality, reclaim your edge, and reignite the fire in your soul. Brother, if you're watching this, it means a part of you refuses to settle for less. You still believe in your strength, you still dream, and you still want to feel like the man you were born to be. I created this channel for men like you, men with battle scars, wisdom, and untapped power. So before we go any further, hit that subscribe button, not just for me, but for you, because the world hasn't seen your final form yet. And if you ever need to talk or ask questions, I'm here for you, in the comments. There's a sacred moment, each day that most men walk right past, never knowing the treasure they're leaving behind. It's not found in a pill, a gym, or even in the mirror, it's in the sky. It's that first light of morning, the quiet rise of the sun while the world is still slow, still honest, still real. That moment is your invitation, your reset, your resurrection. You see, as we grow older, life often tricks us into thinking that slowing down is inevitable, that the wear and tear on the body means a permanent retreat from energy, strength, and purpose. But the truth, hidden in plain sight, is that your body is constantly listening to your thoughts, listening to your habits, listening to the light. When you open your eyes each morning, your body isn't just waking up from sleep, it's preparing for war. The war against fatigue, low drive, mental fog, and quiet despair. And just like any warrior preparing for battle, you need your commander to give the orders. That commander is light, natural, radiant morning light. The kind that touches your skin and says, "Let's begin again." Here's something most men don't realize. Testosterone, the hormone that shapes your energy, muscle mass, confidence, and even your sense of purpose, isn't just a number on a lab report. It's a response. It's your body's answer to the world around it. And one of the most powerful signals it listens to? The sunrise. Within your brain, there's a tiny but mighty structure called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. It's your internal clock, your circadian rhythm. And this rhythm governs everything. Your sleep, your hunger, your alertness, your healing, and yes, your testosterone production. When morning light enters your eyes, it travels through specialized cells in your retina, straight to this master clock. The message it delivers is clear. It's time to produce. It's time to build. It's time to thrive. When that rhythm is strong and synchronized, your entire endocrine system operates like a well-tuned engine. Hormones are released at just the right times. Cortisol rises early to wake you with energy, not stress. Melatonin falls so you can feel alert and present. And testosterone, that sacred fuel of masculinity, surges with purpose. But when you miss that morning light, or worse, when you substitute it with the artificial glare of phone screens and fluorescent bulbs, you send a very different message. A message of confusion, a message of delay, a message that says, hold back, don't produce yet, the signal isn't clear. And slowly, day by day, your rhythm dulls, your fire fades. That's why getting 20 minutes of natural light within the first hour of waking is not just a recommendation, it's a revival. It's a decision to honor your biology, to step into the rhythm that every ancient man before you relied on. Back when time wasn't measured by a phone but by the sun, the stars, the seasons. And do you think those men who hunted, built, defended, and created struggled with low testosterone? No. They lived in harmony with nature, and nature responded with vitality. But this isn't about living in the past. It's about reclaiming what was always yours. Even if your mornings now begin in an office or behind the wheel, you still have access to the same light that guided our ancestors. Step outside. Stand on your balcony. Walk your dog. Do your stretches on the porch. Sip your coffee with the sun on your face. Make it sacred. Make it yours. Because this isn't just about vitamin D, although that alone is worth fighting for. Vitamin D is a precursor for testosterone, mood regulation, immune strength, and even cognitive clarity. Low levels have been directly linked to low testosterone, fatigue, and even depression in men over 50. But the light gives you more than a nutrient. It gives you direction. Each morning, when your body feels that first kiss of sunlight, it begins to recalibrate. Sleep hormones retreat. Energy hormones rise. And your testosterone production, primarily driven by the luteinizing hormone that triggers your testes, gets its signal to get to work. This isn't theory. It's biology. It's science. It's life. But it's also spiritual. There's something deeply personal about starting your day under the open sky. It reminds you that you're a part of something greater, that your journey isn't finished, that even after 50, your body is still capable of growth, strength, recovery, and transformation. The morning sun becomes a mirror, and in that mirror you don't see your age, you see your potential. So many men over 50 walk around with the weight of unspoken fatigue. They feel it in their bones. They notice it in their mood. They whisper it to themselves late at night, wondering if their best years are behind them. But I'm here to tell you, they're not. They're right in front of you. And it starts by doing the simple, powerful things. Consistently. Because healing doesn't always come in loud, dramatic moments. Sometimes healing is quiet. It's a choice made in the stillness of dawn. A choice to rise. A choice to walk into the light. A choice to say, I'm still in this fight. You don't need perfect routines. You don't need all the supplements in the world. You don't need to bench press your younger self. What you need is alignment. Alignment with the rhythm your body was born to follow. And that rhythm begins not in a bottle, but in the sky. The irony? Most men think the key to higher testosterone lies in expensive clinics, synthetic patches, or extreme regimens. But the most primal, most effective, and most accessible tool has been rising in the East every morning of your life. And today, it rose for you again, not as a background element, but as a call to power. The sun doesn't care about your mistakes. It doesn't care how many times you gave up on yourself. It rises anyway. It shows up for you. And the question is, will you show up for it? Imagine this. You step out tomorrow morning before the rush begins. The sky is painted in soft colors. The air is fresh. The world is quiet. And you let the light hit your face. You breathe deep. You speak life into your day. You move with intention. And in that moment, you are no longer aging. You are awakening. This is how we heal. Not through force, but through alignment. Not through punishment, but through presence. The sun is not just light. It's leadership. It leads your body into balance, into rhythm, into power. All you have to do is meet it. And if you're thinking, but I'm too far gone, I want to speak directly to that thought. You are not broken. You are not too late. You are not too old. You are simply disconnected. And reconnection begins with light. One of the most empowering things a man can do is reclaim his mornings, not for productivity, not for ego, but for healing. When you anchor your day in natural light, you anchor yourself in truth. You begin to feel the subtle return of energy, the quiet return of desire, the sacred return of discipline, and you begin to trust your body again. This trust is priceless. Because when you trust your body, you stop fearing your future. You stop dreading the mirror. You stop surviving, and you start living. So here's the challenge. Starting tomorrow, greet the sun. No matter how small the action. Walk, stretch, pray, breathe, or just stand there in stillness. Do it every day, without fail. Rain or shine, cloudy or clear, you'll feel the shift. Give your body time. Give it consistency. And I promise it will respond. Because testosterone isn't just about muscle or sex drive. It's about fire, direction, purpose. It's what turns apathy into action, doubt into confidence, fog into focus, and the sun. The sun is the spark. You are a man with decades of life behind you, but also decades of life ahead. And every morning, you are invited to choose, sink into decay or rise into renewal. That choice lives in the light. That power is already yours. Your rhythm is sacred, your biology is intelligent, and your healing is within reach. So tomorrow, don't just wake up, rise into the light, rise into alignment, rise into the man you still are and always were meant to be. You are not what you eat. You are what you absorb. And after 50, when the body begins whispering instead of shouting, when the signs of imbalance don't show up as fireworks but as quiet fatigue, foggy thoughts, a softer body, and a duller fire inside, your choices at the table become not just nutrition but an act of survival. More than that, an act of devotion, because fueling your fire with the right foods is not about going on a diet. It's not about counting calories or chasing the latest trend. It's about standing at a crossroads and choosing to fight for yourself again. To say to your body, I'm still in this, I still believe in you. After 50, the male body shifts, and if you're not paying attention, it can feel like the slow erosion of your former self. Testosterone production declines, metabolism slows, absorption weakens. It becomes easier to gain fat and harder to gain muscle. And worst of all, the drive, the deep masculine fire within, feels like it's flickering instead of roaring. But here's what they don't tell you. That fire can still burn. And the food you eat, that's your fuel, not just to survive, but to thrive. Because food is not just sustenance, it's instruction. Every bite, every ingredient, every meal carries a code, and your cells are listening. Let's start with the truth no one teaches us when we're young. As you age, digestion becomes less efficient. Your stomach produces less acid, your intestines may not absorb nutrients as easily, and your cells may not respond as quickly. That means a donut at 25 is not the same as a donut at 55. And a plate of zinc-rich grass-fed beef or magnesium-packed spinach becomes not just helpful but vital. These aren't simply nutrients. They are warrior compounds. They rebuild your hormones, your focus, your strength. Zinc, for example, is a master mineral for men. It directly supports testosterone production by assisting in the creation of luteinizing hormone, which signals your testes to produce testosterone. It supports sperm health, immune function, and even healing. Low zinc has been linked to fatigue, low libido, and depression. And yet so many men live with undiagnosed deficiencies, simply because they're not eating with intention. But when you choose oysters, pumpkin seeds, grass-fed meats, or even a good quality supplement, what you're really saying is, I choose to rebuild. Magnesium is another silent powerhouse. It's involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions in your body. It helps regulate blood sugar, blood pressure, sleep cycles, muscle recovery, and most importantly for our discussion, testosterone optimization. Men low in magnesium often feel tight, anxious, restless, and weak. But add more magnesium-rich foods like spinach, almonds, black beans, and dark chocolate, and you start to feel the shift. A calm alertness, a steady focus, a deeper sleep that actually restores you. And then there's omega-3 fatty acids. Those miraculous oils found in wild-caught salmon, sardines, flax seeds, walnuts, and even pastured eggs. These aren't just healthy fats, they are messengers. They reduce inflammation, protect your heart, nourish your brain, and signal your body that it's time to heal, not just survive. Chronic inflammation is one of the greatest enemies of testosterone. It blunts hormone production and weakens cellular communication. But with omega-3s, you give your cells the lubrication they need to function like they did when you were young. Healthy fats are not the enemy. In fact, your hormones are literally built from cholesterol and fat. Testosterone, estrogen, cortisol, all of them require fat as their foundation. When you avoid healthy fats, you starve your hormone production. But when you choose avocados, olive oil, coconut oil, organic butter, and fatty fish, you're not clogging your arteries. You're building your hormonal temple. Let's talk about eggs. One of the most demonized foods in the modern world, and yet one of the most healing when raised right. Eggs, especially from pasture-raised chickens, are powerhouses. They contain nearly every vitamin your body needs, including choline, which is vital for brain health and liver function. They're rich in protein, healthy fats, and the cholesterol your body needs to produce testosterone. One egg is not just a food, it's a message. It says, I value my energy, I respect my biology. And don't forget the vegetables, especially the cruciferous family: broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, kale. These aren't just greens, they're detoxifiers. They contain compounds like indole-3-carbinol, which helps your liver metabolize excess estrogen. Yes, estrogen. Because as men age, especially when carrying more belly fat, estrogen can rise, silently dulling testosterone's effects, adding to mood swings, fatigue, and weight gain. But cruciferous vegetables help balance the scales. They allow your masculine edge to sharpen again. Food is the most intimate conversation you'll have with your body each day. It's not just what you eat, it's how you eat, why you eat, with what intention you eat. Are you fueling stress, or are you fueling strength? Are you numbing pain, or are you feeding purpose? So many men over 50 reach for food as a distraction, as a sedative, as a quick fix for a longer wound: fast food, processed carbs, sugary snacks. They give you the illusion of fullness but the reality of emptiness. They spike your insulin, increase your belly fat, and signal your body to slow down testosterone and ramp up inflammation. It's a dangerous game, but the good news is, you can reverse the pattern. You can walk into your kitchen today and choose foods that fight for you. You can prepare meals not just to fill your stomach, but to fortify your spirit. A plate of wild salmon with roasted Brussels sprouts and avocado? That's not a dinner, that's a declaration. A smoothie with spinach, chia seeds, almond butter, and blueberries? That's not a snack, that's strategy. A handful of pumpkin seeds while the world snacks on chips? That's not sacrifice. That's sovereignty. Because here's the truth. Most doctors won't tell you. You have more power than you've been led to believe. You are not at the mercy of your age. You are not doomed to decline. You are responding to signals every single day. And the food you choose sends the clearest, most consistent signal of all. You are either feeding testosterone or you are feeding defeat. Let's get personal now. Maybe you've felt the tired mornings, the heaviness in your limbs, the spark of ambition that used to burn so bright, now barely a flicker. Maybe you've wondered if this is just the way it goes, if you're meant to fade quietly. But I want you to hear me. You are not meant to fade. You were made to fight. You were made to rise. And that rise begins with the fork in your hand. Every bite is a moment of truth. It's a micro-decision. It's a vote. And when you choose nutrient-dense, hormone-supporting foods, you're not just eating, you're healing. You're rebuilding. You're telling your body, I still care, I still have fire left, I'm still here. You may not feel the change in a day. But give it time. Fuel your body like a warrior, and soon it will move like one, think like one, sleep like one, desire like one, create like one, because the body follows where the mind leads, and the mind listens to the gut. And the gut? It's shaped by what you feed it. This is the path of reclamation, the path of a man who chooses not to resign, but to rise. And it begins not with medication or surgery, but with intention. With the simple act of eating foods that serve your mission. You don't need perfection. You don't need to be a chef. You just need consistency. You need a reason. And I promise you, if you fuel your fire with the right foods, your body will remember. It will respond. It will reward you. This is not about going back in time. It's about going forward, stronger, sharper, more alive. Because you are not finished. You are becoming. Every bite you take from this moment forward can be sacred. It can be healing. It can be a prayer that says, I honor this, body. I choose to live fully, I choose to rise again, and you will. One meal at a time, train like a king, not a kid. Because after 50, your body doesn't respond to ego-driven workouts, quick fixes, or relentless punishment. It responds to wisdom, to intention, to resilience. When you were younger, you could go hard, break down, bounce back. But now, it's not about breaking the body to build it. It's about teaching the body to remember who it is, a warrior, a builder, a protector. It's about stepping into the gym, or onto the mat, or into the garage where your weights live, not with the mindset of proving something, but with the sacred discipline of reclaiming something. Forget the endless cardio, the miles on a treadmill that lead nowhere, the workouts that grind your knees into regret. You are not a boy anymore. You are not chasing aesthetics. You are building function, power, hormonal vitality. Testosterone doesn't thrive in chaos. It thrives in resistance. Not resistance from life, but literal, physical resistance. When you push against gravity, when you load your body with purpose, you signal your biology. We are still needed. We are still in the game. 2 to 3 times a week, that's it. That's all it takes. Not hours. Not 7 days a week. Just focused, intelligent strength training sessions. Because the male body after 50 is a machine that thrives on recovery, just as much as effort. And when you understand this, you stop overtraining and start transforming. You stop chasing exhaustion and start chasing excellence. Compound lifts, those movements that engage multiple muscle groups at once, are the foundation of your new kingdom. Squats, deadlifts, push-ups, pull-ups, rows, overhead presses. These aren't just exercises. They're movements your body was born to do. And when done correctly, with control and purpose, they flood your body with testosterone, growth hormone, and vitality. They strengthen the tendons, the ligaments, the core of who you are, literally and figuratively. Let's start with the squat, the king of all movements. When you squat, you don't just build your legs. You activate your glutes, your core, your spine. You increase intra-abdominal pressure. You force your body to stabilize under load. And in that effort, you release testosterone. You signal to your muscles and bones, get strong, stay strong. And you're not squatting to impress anyone. You're squatting to anchor yourself, to ground your presence in the earth, to say, I am still rooted, I am still rising. The deadlift, the ultimate power move. It's not just about lifting weight from the floor, it's about lifting your life from the floor. Every time you grip that bar or dumbbell or kettlebell and pull with intention, you build a foundation of strength that ripples into your posture, your balance, your metabolism. Deadlifts engage nearly every muscle in the body, and in doing so they command your endocrine system to produce more testosterone. But more than that, they rebuild your belief in yourself. Push-ups and pull-ups, don't underestimate their power. These bodyweight warriors are timeless. When done with proper form, they build more than muscle. They build discipline. They remind you that you don't need a fancy gym or expensive equipment. Your body is the gym. Your breath is your rhythm. Your intention is your trainer. And here's what the younger men don't understand. It's not about how much you lift. It's about how deeply you engage. When you slow down the movement, when you feel the muscle contract, when you control the eccentric and the concentric phases, you make every rep a ritual. You don't need to throw around weight to build strength. You need to move with mastery. This is training like a king. A king does not waste his energy. A king does not chase after the applause of others. He trains because the throne is heavy, because the crown is earned daily, because his kingdom, his body, his mind, his family, his purpose, requires his strength. So, let's talk about frequency. 2 to 3 full-body strength sessions per week. Not random workouts, but structured, progressive plans. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Whatever fits your life. You alternate between push, pull, squat, hinge, and core, and you give your body time to rest, to rebuild, to grow. Because recovery is where testosterone spikes. It's where the magic happens. You train, you feed, you sleep, you repeat. And on your off days, move, walk, stretch, breathe, be mobile, be fluid, but don't sit in stagnation. Your joints crave movement. Your fascia needs flow. Your nervous system responds to rhythm. So hike, swim, ride a bike, play, not to burn calories, but to stay alive. You see, the old model of fitness is broken. It says, go hard or go home. It worships pain. But kings don't chase pain. They chase precision. The new model, the model for the man over 50 who wants to reclaim his testosterone, his strength, his masculinity, is about mastery over mayhem. It's about building the kind of strength that lasts, that serves, that protects. And strength is more than muscle. It's presence. It's posture. It's the way you walk into a room and own your space, not by flexing, but by simply being. When your body is strong, your mind becomes clear. When your legs are solid, your confidence returns. When your back is straight, your past no longer weighs you down. Training like a king is not a metaphor. It's a lifestyle. It means you no longer outsource your health. You no longer hope things will improve. You take the throne back, with every rep, with every session, with every breath. Because testosterone is not just a hormone, it's a signal. And when you lift, you send the clearest signal possible. I still have work to do. You may be sore. You may be slower than you once were. You may have injuries or limitations. That's okay. Kings adapt. Kings train around pain. Kings listen to their bodies, not to their egos. You don't need to be the strongest man in the gym. You just need to be stronger than the version of you that chose to give up. This is your second prime, and it can be your best. The wisdom you have now, combined with the discipline you're rebuilding, can carry you further than youth ever did. Because now you know what matters. You know what's at stake. Your energy, your presence, your legacy. Every time you pick up a weight, you're not just lifting iron. You're lifting responsibility. You're lifting memory. You're lifting the man your family counts on. The man your younger self dreamed you'd become. the man who refuses to let age become a cage. When you train like a king, your heart pumps cleaner, your blood flows better, your sleep deepens, your insulin sensitivity improves, your bones become denser, your mind sharpens, your testosterone climbs, your purpose returns. And this is not about looking good on the beach, though you will. This is about walking into each day with power, with courage, with a body that says, I am still here, with a spirit that says, I have not quit, with eyes that say, there's more ahead of me than behind me. So let the kids chase trends. Let them brag about bench presses. You're chasing something deeper. You're chasing vitality, sovereignty, reclamation. You're reclaiming every cell that was dulled by stress, every hormone that was dimmed by distraction, every ounce of power that was forgotten in the noise. And when the weight feels heavy, remember, that's when you grow. That's when the king is carved. Not in comfort, but in challenge. Not in ease, but in effort. So embrace the resistance. Love the process. Celebrate the soreness, because every time you show up, you're telling your body, your mind, and your spirit, I am still worthy. Train like a king, with purpose, with presence, with power. Because when you lift, you rise. And when you rise, you heal. You're not just trying to boost a hormone, you're reigniting the flame of a life fully lived. Your age is not a limit. It's a badge of experience. Your story is still being written, and this chapter is about revival. Share this message with a brother, a father, a friend. Someone out there needs to hear it. And remember, your best is not behind you. It's waking up right now.